Well, a very good evening. Happy New Year to you all. You are most welcome. Now, unless you have been asleep all day, I'm probably the last person to wish you all a Happy New Year. But, of course, here we are in 2023, and we say a not too fond farewell to 2022 with the hopes of a greater positivity for all in the world in 2023. Whether you are watching us live or on the catch-up, you are most welcome. It's so good to see you all. Hello, Wendy in Italy. Fantastic. Lovely to see you. It's lovely to see you all. Amazing. Yeah, couldn't resist our little Happy New Year tribute, just in case you have been asleep all day. Of course, Auld Lang Syne, as written by Robert Burns in 1788, but based on an earlier poem. And I thought I'd leave the soundtrack going to Big Ben with the music thumping out, because every time I play that on a New Year's Eve, there's always so much hullabaloo going on. Anyway, I hope this finds you well, and that you've had a very good Christmas and the bit in between that goes on forever and ever and ever, and no one knows what day of the week it is. Now, the important thing is, have you still got your decorations up? I need to ask this. Do tell us in the chat room, because I know some people like to take them straight down, and I was most surprised when I got to the RAC club at lunchtime. Everything's gone, just like that, sort of overnight. But there we go. We've still got everything up here, just to keep everything in party mood, so to speak. So this evening, we have not got 9 songs. I know. We normally have 9, but in fact there are 7. But don't panic, because the last one is quite a long one, which was a special request to do. Excellent, Alison. Glad to hear that. Fantastic. And you'll see Pikachu is still here as well. So, what was I talking about? Nothing. I think we'll have coffee and keep this party going. So I do hope you enjoy this evening's show. As always, if you want to, and not everyone does, do take part in the chat room and say hello, Happy New Year to each other, talk about your decorations, talk about your indigestion, all those sorts of things. Well, I said we were in party mood. And in fact, that was the compositional title of that piece, In Party Mood by Strachey. And it was composed in 94. And of course, and as somebody said, yes, Miles, it was picked up by the BBC and used as the theme music for Housewives' Choice all the way until that ended in the late 60s, I am going to say. But that seemed an appropriate one to continue either the Christmas or the New Year festivities to get us going. So I do hope you enjoyed that one. Who's going back? I'm going backwards into... Well, yes, you know, I like to keep you company, Gene. Yeah, so welcome to A Date with a Dinner Set here on New Year's Day. It's programme number 132, if you are keeping track. And it is, as always, wonderful to be here. As I say, we still have the decorations up here, and I'm pleased that a lot of you have as well. Well, I thought you'd be pleased, Alison, about the reindeer. You were moaning the other day about not enough Christmas stuff. I thought, let's give them one more outing, one more little dance to do. Those party reindeer. Don't worry, they'll be confined to the back burner in the system. That is it for the reindeer, probably. Anyway, I hope you've had a good day, whatever you've been doing, and maybe you've been for a walk today. I don't know. Indeed, it was more than a hint at Alison. It was, as my brother said, a walk in the Black Forest, which was composed in 1965 by this chap, Horst Jankowski, who was German. pianist and orchestra, and that one seemed to hit a note, as it were, and it became an almost instant hit, and catapulted him and his band to great success, and it all over Europe. It was the tune of 1965 and for the years to come. And in fact, the story is that Horst Jankowski actually had trouble sort of following that up. Never sort of quite matched that original hit, but they did, as a band, produce quite a few albums. But it's a nice, jolly one for a New Year's Day walk, be it in the Black Forest or indeed on Oxshott Heath. So if you have happened upon this merry little thing that is Gigi the Piano Man, and you want to take part in the chat, not all of you do, I know that, you need to be subscribed to take part in the chat. That is for my security. And if you want to know when the uploads are, press the bell notification. You have various choices when you do press that bell. As you know, here on Gigi the Piano Man on YouTube, we do this Sunday live program for an hour at 18:30. We have an upload every Friday, and then at the end of each month we have a special program, and there's one coming up at the end of January, which was the one which we never got to do back in November because I was poorly bunny. I was. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. So the next one, I wanted to play in one of our Christmas shows, but it wasn't really appropriate. So it's been hanging on. But I think it's one of those pieces which is instantly recognisable, I hope, by some of you. And I hope the reason that I am playing this one, even if it seems at first slightly out of kilter, I say that as a disclaimer, you'll know the reason why I am playing this truly amazing song. Indeed, quite an amazing song, composed in, well, released in June 1981, and as composed by Jerry Dammers, who was the keyboard player of the Specials. But of course, as some of you said, the reason for playing that was the sad passing of lead singer Terry Hall, who passed away just before Christmas. Quite a unique voice. And there's quite an amazing history to the way in which that song was composed. It was at the time when the 7 members of the Specials were all actually falling out with each other, so they never actually recorded it together. Each person went into a basement studio to record their own track, and that was the sort of height of their fame. It's quite odd. And then, of course, it was released just about a time of the riots, and so it was very topical at the time, but it actually came out before all those awful riots began. And I find it quite fascinating. So it's an example of two-tone music which originated really in Coventry, but was based on a combination of reggae, ska, and rock steady. It was own sort of genre unique to the UK, and it was around for about 6 or 7 years. So the Specials were very much a part of that on the two-tone label. So that's why we had that one today. I'm going to have a bit of coffee while you watch a word from our sponsor. On to our next song. Do enjoy. Oh, I must tell you, I played this at the RAC earlier, and after about 20 minutes, somebody who was sitting right behind me, who had heard it, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you. Do you think you could play The Smoke Gets in Your Eyes?" And I wanted to be just a tad sarcastic about them not recognising it the first time, but of course I'm not like that, so I obliged them. So here's the third outing for Smoke Gets in Your Eyes today. Indeed. S.O. Blue and Shirley Bassey. Was that the one with the boot? You'll have to remind me on that, but yes. But of course, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, as composed by the wonderful Mr. Jerome Kern, and it was composed in 1933 for the musical Roberta. And one of the first recordings was by the Paul Whiteman Band, but of course it's been covered so many times and entered the book, if you like, as a real standard. The Boot. Yeah. Fantastic. Now, before we go on to the next song, the other day I was wittering on about how grateful I am to everyone, because every time we do one of these programs or I make a recording, I'm constantly reminded of all the equipment surrounding me, which was donated by you. And I spoke about the time I opened that equipment when there was snow on the piano, and somebody spoke to me this week. They said, what happened to the piano? Did you leave the window open? So no, I've dug out and edited back. This was I think it was on the 27th of December 2020. Remember those dark times? Anyway, this was the occasion when I was unwrapping all the presents to myself. And all those presents were from you. I've taken off the audio. There's no point. I'm just wittering on about nothing, really. But I am showing you what I was unwrapping on that occasion, which was all donated by you. That is the Stream Deck doohickey, all the buttons, which we program. And I think, yes, this is the camera, which we now call Camera 2, the overhead cam. Which you see from time to time, and that was pointing out a Satsuma. I'm not quite sure why. But of course, the main thing that actually powers all this, what we do here on the channel, is what's in the other box on the top of the piano. Oh, get on with it, man. You're faffing around. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But of course, the what makes this all possible is the very powerful... here we go at last. Oh, what a drama this man makes about opening presents, eh? But this is the Mac Mini M1. Give it a good shake. Always does it good, I find. But just once again, for anyone who's here with us in the chat room, or if you're listening live, or if you're watching on the catch-up, just a huge thank you again. You know who you are, because you donated so generously to make these live streams possible. So there we go. And that was the snow on the piano, which has not been repeated since for a variety of reasons. Okay, the party continues with the next one. Do enjoy. Indeed, of course. New York, New York, New York. Composed by John Kander in 1977 for the film of the same title, and as recorded, of course, by the wonderful Frank Sinatra. Oh gosh, wouldn't it have been lovely to have seen Frank Sinatra live? That must be something. Oh, you have, Bob. Amazing. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Ah, Ray Moore. That's funny you should mention him. I was only thinking about Ray Moore the other day, brother, when he did that truly awful record, but raised a lot of money for children in need. Jogging on the Bog-Eyed Jog. Anyone remember that one? Yes, it raised a lot of money, and it was fantastic in the very early days of children in need. So I hope you enjoyed a good old sort of party favourite there, New York, New York. New York, New York. Okay, now just before we go on, I wanted to share, I'm sure you've seen it, but I wanted to share it with you. Word of the Year 2022. Do you know what Word of the Year is? Is. Apparently, it's goblin mode. Now, before you start chatting anything inappropriate, if you don't know what goblin mode is, like I sort of had an idea, but I was sort of on the wrong track, actually. But there's the definition. In goblin mode, or to go goblin mode, is a type of behaviour which is unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, greedy, typically in a way that was too short, that, wasn't it? But rejects social norms or expectations. So goblin mode. See if you can throw that into a conversation when we all go back to work. Yes. So now the next piece is very exciting. The other day, I think it was Tuesday, I had the great pleasure of playing with my wonderful friends Jamie and Monty Bland. We did a post-Christmas concert down in Hampshire at the care home where their grandparents are staying. And it was a really great occasion because it's always fun to perform with the boys. They are such consummate musicians, so innate and intuitive. And I wanted to share with you just one piece from that. Sorry, I have to reply to that. Yes, goblin teas made. My grandparents had one of those. Oh my goodness me, what a palaver. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this recorded the other day. A wonderful performance by my great friends Jamie and Monty Bland. Take it away, boys.
See
fantastic Jamie and Monty Bland, still such babes really at 20 and 18. But the lovely thing about that concert was the boys took total charge and just stuck me in an armchair like one of the residents actually. But it was really nice because they introduced all the pieces. And for that reason, Miles, no one heckled for Take That. They were just soaking it all up. But they are truly amazing people. Jamie, of course, is currently studying for a liberal arts degree at Principia College in the USA, and Monty is in his first year on the Tonmeister sound recording course at Surrey University. And they already have been places, but they will go places. Fantastic gentlemen. So if you're enjoying the show, as always, can I just remind you, give it a like, thumbs up, it will animate for you. If you are watching on the catch-up, then do give it a comment, do share it on. And of course, we're always on the lookout for subscribers on this channel, GG the Piano Man. So, don't panic. We are going to the Otters slightly early now before we go into our grand finale, Animali Carnivali. And just the Otters yesterday, that's Kotaro and Hannah on their channel Kotsumet, uploaded, as people do at this time of year, a sort of retrospective of some of their best moments. And it goes on for quite a long time. But here's just a snippet of some of the marvellous, funny things that have been captured by our friends, the Otters. There we go. Kotaro and Hannah, the best of 2022. So you'll remember some of these. I have shown some of these as we show a little snippet on the channel each week because I'm in love with these creatures. They are just so cute. And, of course, very devoted house parents that look after them. And it's quite interesting when you look at the sort of very small segments, as we are indeed here, all put together, just the fascinating behaviours and characteristics that they show. And they seem to so well cared for, even when they're teased mercilessly like that. But they get their own back, you see, so Kotara's having a good go at eating the phone there. But of course, during this year, Kotaro, the male otter, has celebrated his 5th birthday, and Hannah has celebrated her 4th birthday. And I think they're up to 1.63 million subscribers on that. Oh, I love that expression. On their channel, Kotsumet, there is a link underneath the video description. But they seem to have a whale of a time, or an otter of a time. So we do like to pay a little visit to them each week. And this, as I said, whoa, that was a reaction, wasn't it? Yes, so this is just a very small part of their sort of retrospective of everything that's been happening to them over in Japan this year. They are... Hey, I love that hairstyle. That is something else. There's some product in there, I reckon. But as you can see, they have a wonderful time. A wonderful time. So, we're now... just amazing. So, as I said to you at the start of the show, we haven't got 9 pieces now, we've got 7, and you've had 6 of them. And so the last piece is actually a much more extended piece. And somebody who's subscribed to the channel, they're not able ever to listen live, but she has been in email contact with me a few times during the past years to say, please can you produce the sheet music for your wonderful arrangement of what I'm going to play. And I said, yeah, get around to it. I haven't yet, but I have emailed this person to say, well, I am going to the next best thing, I hope, is I'm going to play it live on New Year's Day. So here's the link to that if you want to watch it. I've played it before, not in the Date with a Dinner set, but I played it in one of the concerts. As I say, it is an extended piece. What it is, I might as well tell you. I mean, you'll guess anyway. But it's my version of the amazing symphonic suite to the iconic film Les Parapluies de Cherbourg, composed by Michel Legrand. And his original suite was 26 minutes. Don't panic, mine isn't that long. It's about 13 or 14, depending what happens. But I refer to this film so often, this seminal film of 1964, no dialogue in it at all sung, amazing scenery, amazing colours, the collaboration between Michel Legrand as the composer and musical arranger and Jacques Demy, the French art filmmaker. I'll stop talking because the music really does speak for itself. So, as I say, this is quite a long piece for this type of show, but I do hope you stay with it. But do feel free to wander off. It'll still be going when you've made another cup of tea or something. And after that, we will say goodnight in our usual way. Do enjoy my arrangement of the suite from Les Parapluies de Cherbourg. So there we. That's the way to finish, wasn't it? That was the suite from Les Parapluies de Cherbourg, the umbrellas of Cherbourg. And those very colourful umbrellas were not from the film. That's actually part of an old SYNE advert, but they fitted the bill. So I do hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I've had a wonderful time playing for you as always. Thank you so much for being here, whether you've been watching live or you're on the catch-up or whether you're totally new to all this. It was, as always, a huge pleasure. I do wish you all the very best, not only for the week that is to come, but of course for the whole of 2023. Let's hope for positivity in our world. So do take very good care of yourselves, and I look forward to the very great pleasure of playing for you again next Sunday evening. Thank you so much for listening. All the best. Good night.